Summer vacation events. This happened when I was in 6th grade. At that time, each district had a children's president who was responsible for deciding on district events and conducting assemblies. I became the district president in 6th grade, and although it was troublesome, I managed to get through it without any major issues. During summer vacation, our district decided to stay overnight in the elementary school gymnasium. We decided on the schedule, times, and roles of each person, and worked together with the parents to carry out the event. On the day of the event, we prepared meals together, enjoyed fireworks, and participated in a ghost story session with the younger students. After completing the main activities, we spread out the sleeping bags we had brought and began preparing for bed. A few parents also stayed behind to sleep in the gymnasium. In the spacious gymnasium, everyone naturally gathered near the walls and spread out their sleeping bags. Of course, no one slept in the middle of the gymnasium. Before going to bed, we checked the number of people and told everyone again to wake up their parents if they needed to use the bathroom in the middle of the night. Then we turned off the lights in the gymnasium and went to sleep. After the lights were turned off, many of the children had trouble falling asleep, as it was an unfamiliar place to sleep and they were with their friends. Before I knew it, I had fallen asleep too. In the middle of the night, I suddenly woke up. At that time, there were no smartphones, so the only way to check the time was to look at the clock installed in the gymnasium, but it was too dark to see it clearly. Once again, I tried to go back to sleep, but I couldn't fall asleep, and gradually I started to feel the urge to go to the bathroom. I got out of my sleeping bag and quietly made my way over to where the chaperones were sleeping, trying to wake them up, but they didn't wake up at all. I tried to wake up all the chaperones who were traveling with us, but no one woke up. What the hell? No one's waking up, I thought, and reluctantly decided to go to the bathroom outside the gymnasium by myself. At the entrance to the gymnasium, there was an emergency exit light, which was the only source of light inside the gymnasium. On the way to the entrance, I noticed a sleeping bag on the opposite wall from where everyone was sleeping. Huh? Is someone sleeping alone? I thought as I walked over, and saw the sleeping bag moving. The person sat up from the sleeping bag and leaned against the wall. I wondered who it was and slowly approached him. It was a boy who looked like he was in his 1st or 2nd year of high school. As I was thinking, what was his name? He said, "Toilet." So I decided to take him with me. We went outside, went to the toilet, washed our hands at the outdoor water tap, drank some water, and then I asked, "What's your name?" He replied, "Yuta." Yuta? I think there was a kid like that. As I was thinking about it, Yuta was looking toward the schoolyard. "What's wrong? Did you see something?" He quietly shook his head and muttered, "No. No one. It's scary if someone's there, haha. Why were you sleeping away from everyone else?" "Because that spot is good." I thought he was an unusual kid, but also brave. "I see," I said, glancing at the clock on the school building. It was 2:05. "Let's go," I said, turning around, but Yuta-kun was already gone. Looking around, I heard someone call out, "Kenta-kun." Turning around, I saw a parent peeking out from the entrance, calling for me. When I returned to the gymnasium, I saw Yuta-kun's sleeping bag inflated, which reassured me, so I returned to my own sleeping bag and fell asleep. The next morning, I woke up to the sounds of the early risers chatting. Gradually, more and more children woke up until everyone was awake. I checked the number of people and glanced over at Yuta's spot, but no one was there. I thought he might have moved, so I didn't think much of it. There were no special events that day, so we cleaned up and headed home. While cleaning up, one parent said, "A lot of kids got up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom." That's right. But I also wanted to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night and woke up the adults, but they didn't wake up at all, I said, and the other parents looked puzzled. "Really? I'm sorry. I didn't notice." they said, and then someone else said. I happened to see someone get up to go to the bathroom. He said that he woke up and went to the bathroom without waking anyone else. I don't know if it was because he was sleepy, but he was staggering around and talking to himself. I tried to follow him, but for some reason I couldn't get up. He said. I see. Maybe it was when he was with Yuta-kun. Yuta-kun? Yes. A first or second grader. The moment he said that, the parents nearby looked at each other in surprise. A little while later, there was a meeting for each district at school, so I thought, come to think of it, is Yuta here? I looked around but couldn't find him. I thought he might be on break, so after the meeting, I asked the teacher, who said, Yuta? There's no kid named Yuta in this district. You're the president, so you should know that, right? LOL. While explaining the summer vacation incident in the staff room, a teacher who had been at the school for many years asked, Yuta-kun? Is he a small child around first grade? Yes. I see. There is a child named Yuta-kun, right? There was a few seconds of silence. Yuta-kun was there. I felt a sense of dissonance, thinking, was there? Isn't he there? And remained silent. After that, I was urged to go home, but I couldn't accept it and kept asking about Yuta-kun. Is it okay to tell children something like this? I said, and remained silent. Who is Yuta? What happened to him? I asked. About 10 years ago, there was a first grader named Yuta. He loved school. He was always smiling. But, due to repeated abuse at home, I could guess what happened after that. Because I liked school. I liked playing in the schoolyard, so I looked toward the schoolyard and thought, even as an elementary school student, that the empty scene was lonely, and I felt sad rather than scared. And there was more to this story. One night, when my guardian saw me get up to use the restroom, they said, as I watched your swaying figure walking away, I noticed a woman staring at Kenta-kun from the opposite side of the entrance. When I saw her head outside, she followed him toward the entrance, so I hurried outside too. Years later, after graduation, I happened to meet someone in town who told me this story, and it gave me goosebumps all over. I couldn't think straight for a while. This is the end of this story. Thank you for listening to the end.